Hello and welcome to Digipal Plays. So today is gonna be a little bit of Space Marine 2, where I'm gonna show off the what do you call it, side quests, PvE operations, so you can see what's the general idea of the whole thing is, and the different characters and how weapon system works and such, because I personally think it is freaking amazing. When I started playing the main game, I already thought to myself it was pretty much a 10 out of 10. But watching operations, personally, I think all of a sudden it jumped up to like a 12 or 13 out of 10. It's such a well-made game all the way through. So in operations, you have the option of playing as different characters who have each their own special ability. We have the assault, who has a scan, which causes enemies to take extra damage when they're inside of the bubble area. Excuse me, I'm still a little bit tired. It causes a scan, which goes in a bubble area, which enemies take extra damage when they are inside of that. Then we have the assault, who has, as we see in the main story, a jump pack, which allows you to jump into the air or dash through enemies. And while you're in the air, you can either choose to shoot, or you can choose to smash into the ground. Then we have the grapple launcher, which is basically a big hook which you can shoot out, which you can use to drag yourself into enemies and perform a huge amount of damage. It also usually cause you to be right in the middle of the thick of it. But if you, as the Vanguard, hit the big enemy, specifically when it's the Tyranids, the rest of the small fries will usually just die out, so you pretty much are like the one who will take down a whole army by yourself, pretty much. Or a unit. Let's say a unit by yourself. Or squad? I don't know. Which is very awesome, and is personally one of my favorite classes. Then we have the Bulwark, who is the front shield of the whole thing. He doesn't have this one doesn't have one either. A heavy assault rifle, because these are more melee-minded characters. Where I haven't really played this one yet. Same with tactical. And they are in the front with the shield, where they can take a lot of the damage that is thrown at them, and they can also push back with the shield to fend off enemies. And one of their special abilities, or the special ability, is putting down a banner which regenerates your armor for the whole squad that is inside the area, as it says here. Then we have the Sniper, also one of my favorites. For some reason I am for the glass cannons or something, like those that have the least amount of armor, but goes directly for specific targets. So this guy specializes in distance, of course, by the name. And his specialty is he has a camel cloak, which will conceal him until you do an attack or you remove the cloak by yourself. While he's in that cloaking, he can go around and he can rest his teammates without breaking out of the cloaking thing. Which helps a lot for, from distance to shoot down specific targets, or helping the Bulwark or the assaults, the ones in the front, put heavy enemies into a state of vulnerability, so they can go in and execute them, so they can keep their armor up and running constantly, which is pretty damn awesome. I've done that a couple times. And then we have the Heavy, which does not have any melee, but is right on there with all the heavy stuff, like the giant heavy machine gun. We have the big ass plasma incinerator, and then we have the multi-melta, where the melta is kind of like a shotgun, fire shooter shotgun in some way, and this one is my favorite because it has the whole it's the twin one where it shoots way more damage and way more piercing, and it has a much bigger capacity. Yeah, and then we have the Iron Halo, which is their ability, which is putting up a barrier that protects anyone that is behind him from range attacks, including himself, of course, though it does not protect against melee, so they can just pass through that if they want. So this class is way more effective. It works well against Tyranids when they're like if they're a squad that uses range attacks and such, but usually they are melee, so this is a little bit more problematic for them to go against that. It works much better against the Chaos Marines. The heretics. And another awesome thing about this whole thing, there are a lot of good things, I will get around to it. First and foremost, you can choose your own loadout as you see fit. They usually primarily go around with having everything in there. Usually I don't go for we have the bolt gun, which I personally don't use, or it's the heavy bolt gun, I'm uncertain right now. I usually focus on using the plasma rifle, as it's good also against like heavy units, where this one, for example, is very good against dealing heavy damage, but not good at range, where this one will help a little bit more than that. Plus you can also focus it or charge it up so it deals heavy amount of damage. You can pretty much take down most of the big guys with one shot and then a hit. So in all of them have pretty much their own specific weapons they go with. For example, we have I think it's called the Stalker. I can't really see right now because of my camera. We have a normal sniper, and then we have the super sniper, so to speak. It's like energy rifle that has a very low magazine, so you have very low reserve of ammunition for it. But this one has a bit more to work with, and also deals a big amount of damage. And so on and so forth. Oh wait, excuse me, I need to change that. There we go. And also he has only specific melee weapons. That's pretty much overall on all the different characters, that they have very specific melee and sidearms they can use. For example, this one only has the standard handgun, a bolt gun. The Bulwark has also the same there, but he has a bigger variation in melee weapons he can use. For example, there's the gauntlets, there's the chain sword, and then the power sword, I think it was called, which you can also see here. And also already you can see a difference with that big ass hand he has there. Gotta knock out a lot of enemies. As I said, haven't used it yet, also not the tactical, but I'm looking for, thinking of playing the Bulwark in this mission, so you can see how it works. From the very early start. And then we also have, let's see, anyone else? Yeah, this one, the Vanguard has the small fire shotgun, so to speak. It also has an assault rifle, SMG, and also has the main weapon, which is scoped, so you can still hit from a distance if you feel the need for it. Yeah, and we have this class who specifically is the only one, the Assaulter, the only one who has a hammer. So there are some classes who have specific things for themselves, but usually they are a little bit everywhere. One of the cool things is when you level up something like the bolt gun, that XP and master in weapons is shared across all your units. So it's not like you have to work up on this one's arsenal, you have to work up on this one's arsenal, you have to work up on this one's arsenal. It's just shared all the way through. And it helps a lot for when like you have a character that you don't play that much as, then you have leveled up their equipment, at least the ones that can be upgraded. The tactical has very specific guns that only they have. So that one is a little bit more on the harder side to work on. But overall, you can just choose a class, choose some weapons, work them up, and then you can upgrade those weapons to the specific characters you have. There are two ways this works. One, you gain experience in the specific weapon itself, and afterwards you work up in the class of that weapon. So, for example, I have kind of cheated a little bit. You can earn these things that are called armory points, which is in the top right corner over there with the 3 small rings. You gain them by defeating specific enemies or by finding small flying skulls around the different stages, which gives you an armory point when you fight them. And they can be used to open up for the next level. For example, here on the Mastercrafted, I can't go for this one yet because I need to be up in the 3rd difficulty, which is level 10 and up, and I'm not ready for that part yet. But yeah, so for example, if I work on this gun, if we say it has no XP, maybe the bar here will only go up to halfway, but then the gun is completely leveled up, and so it continues to get XP up in this. I don't know really what the word would be, like the weapon in itself. Let's just say the weapon itself, and then there are the specific types of weapons. Like, for example, this one has this upgrade, this one has this one, and you need to work on both of them. You can skip the whole aspect of leveling it up by using one of these armory points. And when you're up here, of course, you'll gonna have to use this one, and when you're on the relic, you'll have to use this one. But this one is first up at level 15 or something, so it takes a while to get to them. So, yeah, I used armory point for, I think, this one, but I'm pretty sure I leveled up this one itself, because there's, how would you say, I prefer the upgrades of this one because I think they are better compared to this one. This one only gives +1 accuracy, plus the damage. I can show it here more better. So we get 1 + 1 in damage, and we get +1 in accuracy. But this one gives +1, 1+ in attack power, damage, and also increases the magazine and the ammo reserve, which I think is much better because it helps you a whole lot more to make sure you don't run out, plus you still give a good amount of damage. And accuracy, you usually just fine aim if it is necessary, or if they're close, you're just do hip fire or whatever you call it, non-focused fire. So yeah, and when you gain all these mastery points from when you have fully leveled up the weapon, you get a perk point, which again is shared between all characters, which can give you the perks that you think will benefit you more when you use it. For example, I have this one which deals 10% more damage against terminus enemies, Tyranids if I understand correctly. And then after a perfectly timed dodge, you deal 25% more damage for 5 seconds. This one I thought was completely awesome. And after Gunstrike, recoil is reduced by 35%. Gunstrike is the one where you have just blocked the enemy, or you have just dealt a good amount of damage or dodged out of the way. And then the crosshair is shown upon the enemy's face, and then you shoot at them. I didn't understand that at first because I forgot completely what it was called. And we can also reset our points completely for free and just change it out. For example, now I can say instead I want maximum spread decrease, and after a perfectly timed dodge, maximum spread decrease by 25% for 5 seconds. And then afterwards we can go over here. After a gun strike, the equipped weapon instantly reloads. Now, if I go for this one, for example, it will automatically lock off the top part. But if I gain another mastery point, I can switch it to go up here if I want to. So midway, you can turn the tree in another direction and skip past. For example, this one gives 10 damage increased by 10%. It is pretty good, but I get the extra perk here, which is the gun strike equipped when after gun strike, the equipped weapon instantly reloads. And this, of course, we get the maximum spread decreased by 10%, but then we also get headshots deal 10% more damage. And magazine size increased by 15% of the maximum. So I'm thinking of going up here, over here, and then down here, so I can get both of these. And then continue on down here. So I can get, when your health is below 30%, killing 10 enemies in rapid succession restores 5% of health. And cooldown is 30 seconds. And then magazine size increased by 15%, so I get 13% increase in my magazine overall. And then also the damage increased by 10%. And I will not go after this one, whereas after killing a major level or higher enemy with a melee weapon, headshot deals 50% more damage. Because usually you don't use melee that much. Of course, it could be a finisher, but usually you go for the weapons, because big enemies usually are very dangerous to go close combat with. And I'm also not so much for this one, because this one equipped weapons maximum spread decreases by 25% when firing without aiming. Again, I'm fine with just having standard, or if I need to, do fine aim, I will do fine aim. So I can go over to this one, and then I can go down to this one afterwards, so I can have more increased damage and maximum magazine. Where if I'd gone the other way, then I will get... Well, I just focused on this one, but if I wanted to, I could go here, then go up, get the extra headset damage, and then take that one. Oh, when I skip over this one, right. I'm kind of forgetting how I wanted it to work out. But that's overall how it works with weapons. Then we have another thing, because to unlock the different things, you need currency. You earn that, I don't remember what the points are called exactly. You unlock those, or gain those, by going to missions and beating them, of course. But there is another option, which is also trials. These small missions that allows you to train up what the possibilities of the unit is, of the different classes, so you can train yourself up in how it works. And there are different rewards here when you do it first time. For example, get a C, just complete it pretty much. At least the first, the one at the top, you get 10 points. Then the B one, you get 15 points. And then the top one, you get armory points. The ones so you can upgrade your weapon to a specific new type or unlock a new tier of the weapon. And there are 3 of these for each characters. And I have, as you can see, gone through all of them, and I have gotten them all to A class. Some of them are very tricky. Sometimes you have to think a little bit outside the box to be able to beat them. But I have made a YouTube video where I go through all of them without speaking, just going through them just so you can see what you mostly need to do. Some of them took a couple of attempts, but I got through it and edited it together. And yeah, so you quickly gain some early points here, even before starting missions. And also get some armory points for free, pretty much, if you can beat them. And afterwards, each class has their own perk tree, which you level up as the class levels up. So there's a lot of different things that level up here, and it's actually a thing I think is pretty awesome, but at the same time, it's not something that's like overly complicated. The weapons level up, the individual weapons, the weapon types level up, and then the specific weapons level up, or weapon upgrades level up. And then we have the perk tree, which of course was, as I said, is the Marine themselves. So when this perk goes up, of course they get a perk, which kind of works like, what you say, Destiny, right? Where you start with unlocking this one, then you unlock these things as they go along the way. Afterwards, and you have to pay for these, of course, with the points up there in the corner, right here. And when you have unlocked all these, it starts going down to this one, this tier, and then it goes all the way through. And within these lines here, you can mix and max as you see fit. For example, if I don't like this one, then after I've unlocked this one, I can take it instead. For example, bolt weapon penetrates one more enemy, and your primary weapon deals 10% more damage, but your secondary weapon deals 10% less damage. Now, that might help if you don't use the sidearm that much, but at some points you kind of want bolt weapons to penetrate one more enemy, because that means more damage is dealt out, and you can more quickly take down a horde with just a basic weapon. Or with the plasma incinerator is 50% overheated, its damage increases by 30%. This one would also be a very nice one to take. But remember, this is on the bolt gun, so this doesn't... Oh, wait, that's not the character himself. What am I talking about? And again, after you bought them, you can just go back and forth as you see fit and make it as you want. For example, I have here with the assault, going through all of these, and I'm looking forward to like open some of these so I can find some others that I maybe like. Damage from melee attacks executed while sprinting or dashing increased by 25%. This one helps a lot because it helps breaking when you do the sprinting attacks to open the enemy's guard, like for example with the Tyranids, they guard a lot, so it helps open up so you can go in and just smash them immediately. And then you also do a high amount of damage from the get-go. It also helps against the, what are they called? The Chaos Marines, those foot soldiers, I guess, melee units that have the shields, the small ones. Then of course the charge attacks, it helps with a finisher, for example with the hammer. It's very effective there, where you beat a couple times, then you push the enemy back into a bigger group, or there is a big group already, and you just finish off with a heavy attack and then just smash down, which means you can more quickly take down a group. And then also non-finisher gun strikes also restore armor. This one would also help a lot with survivability. For example, so it depends on what your playstyle is, or which benefits you think there are compared to what enemy you have to fight. But yeah, and afterwards you can also go into armor, where you, as you level up your class, you can get different parts for your class. For example, you start out either this or with a helmet. It's pretty much the same thing. Then you can switch over to this one, which you can see has a lot of different additions to it, like for example some of these oaths, I think they're called, or whatever. Then you get more additions to everything, so you start looking like a crusader, probably. And then there's also these other things where you kind of look like a knight with an eye cover. Then you have some things in your belt, and you have chains, and then you have this one where you kind of have wings that kind of makes you look like it's a beard. But then you have also a pretty freaking awesome shield. And they look really good. And if you want, you can go down here where you can customize your look. So maybe you want, for example, the hoodie for this one, but you want to keep the shield for this one. And the shoulders for... well, that's not different. Now, so let's say you want to keep the helmet for this one, but you want to have the robotic arm of this one, and then you want the shield of the middle one, so you can mix and max as you see fit with how you want it to look. And as you level up, you will get up to different parts of the armor will be available. For example, this one at level, let's see, complete 12, oh no, wait, that's not levels, that's missions. Sorry, my bad. So after 12 missions of operations that are successful, or internal war, you know, PvE or PvP. So both of them allow you to unlock this, just as long as you have won some fights in the multiplayer co-op. Yeah, you will unlock these parts as you complete sessions or missions. For example, this one will already open after I achieve one victory in an operation or melee. And yeah, so for example, this one opens up, then this one opens up, then this one opens up. The level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that. So it switches a little bit with what you get. So you don't unlock everything immediately for one armor set. You unlock it progressively. And if you switch over to the other side on this one, the other tab, you will see the Asteris chapters, where you can see go for specific types of Space Marines you want. For example, the Ultramarines, you have the Dark Angels, you have the Blood Angels, and the Iron Hands. So you can specifically unlock these things, and then afterwards use those colors you have unlocked inside of here, where you can either do a general color for your whole armor, or you can go for the individuals if you just add them on, because they're not there all the time. Sometimes you have to choose the option of having additions. I think like what is like overall body, and then I think there are legs or something like that. So you have to add the parts you want to customize yourself. And in here, in heraldry, is this place where you also will be where you will be able to unlock these different things. For example, I have unlocked some things from the, what are they called, Raven Lords? Raven Guard, right. Because I wanted specifically some black for my sniper, because shadow fights in the shadow and tries to be less easy to spot compared to the rest. And then you can also get some symbols. For example, this Eagle Guard for the pauldron, left pauldron. And then we have the other side, which is for the right pauldron. So the head constantly faces out towards the enemies. And you can just go around this as you see fit, though it will also cost you points, which you, as I said, will also be using for your skill tree, perk tree, and for your weapons to unlock. For example, yeah, with this one. For example, I have this unlocked right now, but I need to use 40 of these points to be able to unlock this one. And then afterwards, I can either use an armor point, or I can just use it in missions, and then I get XP for this one, and after it's full up, I get a mastery point, as it shows over here. So I can put into the perk tree. I'm not in favor of this one, so I will most likely just use a mastery point, because you easily get those, because they're both in the easy missions, which is the level 1 and up to level 4 or 5. You can just keep going at it if you want to, and then at 5 up till 9 is the average missions. Average difficulty, where you also will be able to find these, also from fighting enemies. So there is a lot of options here, but it's nothing that, in the beginning it might be a little bit, oh my god, where do I start? But if you just go a little bit, you will easily be able to figure this out, and where to go, and which works for what. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is so far. They have made a thing recently, because there was an issue with the sniper, where this one is very focused in the weapons on single targets, which kind of became an issue at some points, especially if you're fighting the Tyranids. So if you are in specific areas where, you know, well, I'm gonna fight a lot of big stuff, so I want to go for the sniper. But if you go for a lot of smaller enemies, and maybe you have someone in your group that are better at taking down the big, or focus on taking up the bigger ones, you can just go over to the small SMG instead, which is a recent addition. I have not played it myself yet. So yeah, you can choose your weapons depending on which chapter you reach in the different... oh, excuse me. In the different missions. So I wanted to go for the Bulwark, right. And then we switch over to the launch bay, a little fast travel system right here, because you don't want to constantly have to go back and forth here, so you can just fast travel, which is nice. So here we have the different things. I can switch to go into campaign, but I can also choose to go into the operations, the side mission stuff. And if you want the PvP, you go over to Eternal more. Now, I'm not much for that, so I usually just stay in operations. Alright, so here we have different options. One, we have, specific missions you can go through, which follow pretty much chronologically with the campaign. For example, we have this one, which is pretty much the second or third mission, where you have to find the there are this Mechanicus guy or whatever he's called, where tech priest, where you fight these small reapers in those room, where Titus talks about you could explode the gas that is underneath the ground to take out a big horde of Tyranids that are heading for the Mechanicus, tech priest, whatever. And so you are the squad that goes in and does that specifically. So you are like in the background of the main mission, which I think is a really awesome idea. And also this one, where we have these specific things we needed to do with, for example, Titus shows off a hive tyrant, like the big boss we have to take down so we can take down the army. Here you play as a side squad that goes in and does this job. So you fight off a hive tyrant in this one specifically. And with this one, there was also another group that had to fix something that was disturbing and jamming the signal within the Vox system. Where this is the one where you have to go in as another squad and do that. So these two happen at the same time, but you do them as different groups, but of course you just select whatever class you want, it doesn't really matter. And so on and so on. The only one that isn't related to the main mission, or story missions, the campaign, is this one, which is just a little extra thing on the side, not really. I'm guessing maybe it's afterwards when you dealt with the Chaos Marines, then we go back to taking out the Tyranids. Something like that. Or it's the Avarax. Then maybe it's the previous planet that you lost to the Tyranids. Maybe you go back now and fight off those. I'm not 100% sure, but it might be something like that. And you can't see it now here, but behind my camera, we have the difficulty settings. As you can see, recommended level 1, and you can also see the different effects that are down there below. For example, enemy equipment drops are generous, enemies are moderately dangerous, and your second incapacitation inflicts a mortal wound. Armor data mastercrafted. And so the class level, average threats. Equipment drops are reduced, enemies are challenging, still the second incapacitation inflicts a mortal wound. Mortal wound is like your last chance before you go out if you go down again. It's still mastercrafted, and then the Medicus stims are less effective, so you don't get that much healing, plus you also don't start out with a stim, which you do in the minimal. So as you start out, you would probably go for that one in the classes. And then we have this one, which is enemies are formidable, your first incapacitation inflicts a mortal wound, so if you go down a second time, you're out. Then you have to wait until you respawn again. So if the whole team goes down, of course, everyone goes out. And then we also have the upgrade in the armory data, which is the Artificer. Artificer? I don't know. Where it goes up to the 3rd tier of your weapons to upgrade. So when I reach level 10, I'm gonna have to go in there. So it's gonna be interesting. But I have a friend I played with, and I've also tried a couple of others where I've played with where we are only 2 players and we get through it pretty much without problem. There are of course some I go in with where unfortunately things doesn't work out well. But it is what it is. So now I'm gonna jump into the squad. Just a sec. Now I'm joining in. Oh, and there is an in-game chat, voice chat, where so you don't have to think about getting another program to talk with people. But it doesn't work well in loading screens. So choose my class. Right, then I can go into edit squad, then I can mute the others, so I can make sure they don't talk, if I don't want to talk with them. You know, in case they say something bad if you want to stream this game yourself. Now we're just waiting for the last member to join in. We have a level 2, I'm a level 1. So he has a little bit of a benefit, just a little bit. Oh, and a level 6. Oh, but they're in the same class, so we can't go. So one of them needs to switch. So yeah, all class members need to be a different... Ah, we still went in. What the... Interesting. So, let's go into the first mission, where we have to blow up a horde of Tyranids. And there is also a special thing in here, I will tell at that point when you read it, which not a lot of people, I think, know. Oh, squad leader has changed. Oh boy. So that's what happened.
Ready to deploy.
Mayo. Ah, no, I need to change. Oh, wait. Oh, they jumped out. Oh, we still have Driller too. So the other one jumped off because he wanted to upgrade his as well. The Vanguard. Maybe we're lucky having another class? This can go for a little while, unfortunately, sometimes. I usually don't have this problem, but... because usually I just switch to another class if... this is the case, but... when it's this early on and you only have a few classes that are as low level as I do have, for example, the Bulwark or the Tactical, it's a little bit harder to make it work properly. Oh, here we go. We have a Sniper, we have a Bulwark, and we have the Vanguard. So this is pretty much a pretty alright class. I can consistently give them armor. Because since they both only have 2 armor slots instead of 3. I can take the brunt of it while they focus on taking down the bigger enemies. Works out pretty well. Now I still have to learn how the power swords works, which I still have not learned. How it switches between the power stance and the speed stance. We'll just have to see.
stored promethium in the refinery to destroy the enemy swarm. Acadians were tasked with providing assistance, but we have since lost contact. First, proceed to the Acadian outpost to establish their fate. You must then infiltrate the refinery and complete demolition's deployment. Trigger detonation only when the main swarm has entered the blast zone. Captain Akaram will coordinate our efforts over Vox.
I have been dying to carve up some seals.
Nothing, brothers.
And you can just find rocks like in the campaign laying around in the stage.
Senior weapon malfunction. Fresh munitions.
And you're going to still make it straight where there's different things you can use. These two are not heavy on armor, so I give them the option of picking one instead of me. Relic, which can help progress when you're down. I think this was also in the main game, though I'm not certain. Here we go. Still.
Fill up on stings.
And also, there's also data slated there, but I already gotten it, so I didn't even think about it.
Load up.
I'm a bit of a salvager, so I usually run around in the back finding stuff if our team needs it.
Stock up. Fresh.
Oops. A lot of explosives enemies though. I took the blasters there.
Then I take your arm. Owe me nothing. Take what you can carry. Won't you something? Fresh magazine.
I'll take those ship grenades. There should be Guardian Relic.
I discovered relics.
So they can take it if that's not. There's usually looking for the Bulwark. No, not Bulwark, Vanguard, since he's the one that jumps into the enemies. The Sniper usually don't need that since he has the cloaking system.
Our banner awaits unfurling. Why do you smile, brother?
Slaughtering the enemies of mankind. I have every reason to smile.
So long as you are baring your teeth toward the enemy, I suppose. Approaching the Astra Militarum.
Oh, we have one of these. Oh, beast!
Another Xenos atrocity cleansed.
Right, nothing here.
Reporting in. The team has arrived at the Imperial Guard encampment.
Talassa, you need to acquire the Astra Militarum demolition codes required to deploy and arm their ordnance. Source one from any soldier you see, alive or otherwise. Empty-handed. Waste of time.
I have the codes, brothers.
We have located the codes, Command.
Proceed to the Prometheum refinery and complete the demolition
Armor
preparations.
data, in case it's spawned here. It's randomly generated where it is. And if I understand correctly, it's not always 100%. Usually not a lot of stuff up here. Alright, I think we're good to move on. Oh, we have a wave incoming?
Turned around. Get your stim injectors. Find a path.
There we go.
Where we sow the enemy's defeat, brothers.
Releasing shockwave. Galaxy's the door. Ammunition expended.
Oh, I don't have any more ammunition. We have another relic.
A beacon of hope for the dark.
So now the sniper can take it since we haven't lost any. And if I remember correctly, there's nothing up here, but I always like to check. Just to see. And then underneath there we have at least ammunition, I'm pretty sure. It's usually randomly generated.
Stock up. Ammunition here. Banner, ready to deploy.
Alright, I'll take all of them.
For the Imperium of Man.
We just have a big enemy over there. Doesn't seem to be anything of
Waste
ammo
nothing,
box.
brothers. Nothing heretical behavior.
Talata, Acadians are running out of time. How close are you to the Prometheus? Arriving at the objective now. You are making
we had a
good
reaper.
time. We are going
The
to
ones that dig
meet.
on the ground. Nothing good just here. Alright, now we're a third of the way through, I think. And we get one of these. An armory. Where you can switch out the different loadouts you want. For example, with this one, I will just keep going with this one. But it also
Where
helps
shall I
with
plant this flag?
if you want to recharge or restock on ammunition and such. This gives
Keep going
everything.
forward.
I'll take the correct grenade.
Subterranean detonation in the Prometheus. That will do.
Use the cord
This
to break
area
the
is
bomb and
pretty
finish its
interesting.
deployment into the crypt Prometheum well. Cautiously.
This is a place where we have to hold kind of the fort for a little while. While we're waiting for the bombs to go down to the gas... What do you call it? Gas tank, I guess? Something like that. That's it.
We crush the ravenous brood beneath our eyes. Delta charge prime. Deploying now.
Rites of activation have been observed. The generators handling the machine god's name. Crane sequencing initialized. Delivering payload. X-axis aligned by the Omnissiah's will.
Let's keep that swarm from ever reaching generator. This is a precise operation.
Now we have to protect different parts of this mission. For example, either trains, the grid will stop in the middle of everything, or one of these generators will be attacked. They each have their number, and they will say which one it is. So you can just look at the numbers and go in and fix it. Or protect. Armor, thank you.
I am envenomed.
Rally, brothers! We can retake that
Generator with ease.
Y-axis aligned. Margin of error 0.0 nanometers. Blessed be the all science divine precision.
Destroy the damn bomb. Full spec, ready.
No errors logged under the only science functional orders.
Bomb is in place, command.
There is an observation platform overlooking the Promethium fields.
Alright,
Make
this
a
is
good
a rather quick
vantage for
one.
your ambush.
Usually it takes like 2 events before it will continue. This is relatively painless.
Equipment found.
Now we're 2/3
Follow me
through.
through. Deploying fragmentation grid.
Damn it.
Out. Magazine in. Launching frag grenade.
Oh, wait.
Our banner
that
awaits
one's
some
down.
firm.
Oh, Ravager! Oh, you took it down pretty well. Survive. Good, good.
Deceptive beast never
Oh,
stood
lick
a
jump.
chance.
Right. Well, let's give that to the sniper. I don't remember if it's the Guardian Relic or if it's the medkits. One of them fixes up your... If you hit a mortal wound, then it will fix you up so you can go down again. I haven't seen the Gene Seed yet, which is,
Decimus, you advance without support too often. We are more effective as a unit.
Worried that I will steal all the glory.
I am worried for those who will have to retrieve your genes. Think of them.
Good work, good work, team. Here, real quick to check. Data slate, I already have that. Crates. Ammo boxes. We should be pretty good. Oh, armor data. Alright, they found it. Nice.
Them, not me!
Trillions to go.
Ain't that the truth? Alright, we're ready to move
We have
on.
arrived at Nozick's facility. Run distraction efforts as long as you can. On my honor, I will ensure your mission is a success. I will hold you to that.
Oh, alright, I'll take it. Don't team to be on, and up we go.
necessary steps.
Are we sure this place will hold together once that bomb goes?
There will be more burn than bomb this one.
Getting the oil is not an
Guardian Flags, one of the big ones. These are one of the things that give you an armor when there's a name and a health bar. Silver, good job.
A victory for the Imperium.
The elite units, or Majoris, or whatever they're called.
Annex location. More equipment here. Take heart. The flames that better than any war. Fill up. More grenades here. The Imperium provides.
I'll take
ready
mine.
to scan.
Found medical supplies.
I
Load
could
up.
use a little bit more.
Stay close and sharp.
No gene suit, unfortunately. I don't think we'll find that. That one is not 100% either.
Come on, we have reached the ambush position.
Dig in. We need that bomb triggered for optimal yield. Orbital scan estimates the bulk of the swarm will not be in position for a while yet. Keep your heads and get it done.
Now this is the area that has a special thing that not a lot of people notice. First and foremost, we need to find out. Exactly, we know that. Sweet. We have to figure out which side they will join in on or attack from. And then we can unlock gas,
Tyranids are attempting to reach our platform.
or release the gas that are stored in here.
Who else is ready to pull the legs off some Xenos?
Area denial deployed. And
So
ready
all
for
the Tyranids that are down there
Swarm is
will
continuing
go
along the predicted
boom
path.
when we fire it up.
Continue holding. Let the foul creatures burn!
Now we'll do a little thing. Yeah, right, bro. Hello, Kristen. Jump back.
Safeguard this
Boom.
on the side.
This one works awesome. It can take pretty much anything down when it blows up.
We must shore up our perimeter.
Alright, everything's good so far.
Console's alive. I offer my service.
No, they usually come from behind here. Exactly.
See your weapon malfunction.
Halfway there, brothers. Keep it up.
If only I had a shot, I could make that barrel blow. Where's my two?
heretical behavior!
Small moving on opposition.
Yeah. Need to rid of that gas. Which side will it come
Swarm is
from?
climbing! The enemy are upon us! Behind you!
A little bit of everywhere, but most of the right side.
The swarm has almost fully committed. Be ready for my mark. This is ready to go. Who's marking?
Oh, there's like the one over there. Oh boy. There.
That's ready to deploy.
Let us prep another bird.
Just. There we go.
Swapping magazine.
Alright. Then we're done. Pretty much.
You are clear to detonate.
There we
Kill
go.
those rotten bastards. Yes, Captain.
Take the honor. Now we enjoy the show.
Tenant line sights down 90% and falling. Swarm annihilation confirmed. Excellent work. Move to extract.
Alright, time for us to leave.
Thunderhawk arriving at evac point. I'm down and ready. Don't die to our own trap.
Alright, off we go.
Extraction.
So, we got 2 armor against us. That's not bad. It's pretty damn good. So we're doing the CM. A gene suit, which gives us, what, 95% more XP, but you do what you can. And I think like standard we get like 600 XP or something like that for clearing a mission. And then we get some bonuses afterwards, depending on our performance, which you'll see in a little bit. Oh yeah, and the fun thing is when you go through these missions, sometimes once in a while the different classes will talk to each other in very specific ways, which is a very nice little banter like we have in the main game. Though sometimes, of course, eventually they will repeat it, but it's still fun. And now we get rewarded for each section we clear, and when we complete everything, the primary objective completed, you get a big fat amount of XP. And then here, as you can see, now we have some other ones. For example, I, for example, have earned most kills, most special kills, and most melee damage. And some of the others have gotten ranged damage, items found, damage taken, incapitations, and teammates revived. which each gives a little bit extra of XP, but it goes a little bit extra on how much XP we get until we reach the higher levels. And now I earned a level. Oh, and I reached mastery with my sword, so now I can upgrade it. Awesome! Now I'm gonna leave the squad real quick. Yes, I need to end before long. And I have a little thing I need to tell before I jump off. So yeah, I just want to show off how the most things are laid out, how you can do with your marine as you pretty much see fit, how weapon system works, weapon leveling, tier leveling, perk trees, and so on and so on. And yeah, I just personally think this is really, really thoroughly and awesomely made. And it's not like something overwhelming, and there is, of course, some grinding for each of the different classes, but there is also something that helps in general with the weapons specifically. First, let's see my sword. Huh. I didn't get a mastery point, apparently. Oh, wait. Did I already spend it? Huh. Alright, because I went in and I used an armor point to fully upgrade it. Or master it. Right. See, I can do it right here if I want to now. So, if I want to unlock another weapon, as you can see here, I can go in and I can buy it. So now it has another chance of appearance plus some different effects if I want it instead. But I'm not really looking to use this weapon, so I just want to skip it by using a master point. So now it's mastered, I got a point, and now I can put it into the perk tree. So with this one, damage from charge shots increased by 10%, which is a good deal. And then afterwards I'm gonna go up to this one because I would love the charge shot to have a higher damage radius. That would be pretty damn good. And then as you can see here, now we got a perk tree, now we can upgrade Conviction. When your armor is fully depleted, you take 25% less damage for 5 seconds. Which is good for a tank, so we'll go with that. Now we have more armor sets unlocked as well. So now I can go in and I can switch my helmets. Just a minor little thing, just a skull. It's nothing grand when you start out, but as you go on, it becomes more and more epic as we go on. And yeah, this is how he looks normally. And so yeah, we can see the different equipment, which has some pretty nice things. There are also some DLCs, which I haven't unlocked because I bought the gold package so you get the early access. So I have the option to get these, but I still need to get them inside of the heraldry. So it's the part that is here. So I have to go through this one, then buy the color, and then I can buy the armor piece. So yeah, so you can just mix and mash as you see fit with all the different parts, however you want it. For example, go for this one as a pauldron, and the other one you can go with, for example, this, which you can unlock inside of the heraldry instead of by completing missions. So you can have a little bit of variety if you want. So yeah, I think that's it for at least what I can think I want to showcase and show off. this PvE or co-op PvE is freaking awesome. Personally, I think this is specific to the reason why I give it 3 extra points above the 10 scale. So yeah, this is the part here where I need to take a little break, but also tell you something. I am given sick leave from my job because I have hit the big depresso. And I am on antidepressants. Or antidepressants, whatever, however it's said. And I am usually on very low energy. That's why I'm off work, because Monday I went to work and I could barely get through half a day's work because I had that low energy. I barely even play games even when I have the time off. Usually I could go for like 6 hours, for example, like today, but as the energy levels are hella low, I need to take some breaks here and there, so I can't go for long times. But I will be able to stream more every day too, because this is something that kind of like feel a little bit productive, and it's something I'm passionate about. So I will be streaming a little bit, but with breaks since I don't have the energy. And I spent, what, 4/5 parts, like 80% of my day, just lying on the couch and trying to recharge and collect myself. I also take some walks, 30 minutes walks every day now, to try and get a little bit of motion inside of in my body, of course. And yeah, I'm seeking a psychiatrist, getting help with finding one in my within the city I live in, and try and get some fix on this. Also getting some help from a psychologist, where my doctor is helping me find a psychiatrist, so we can see maybe if I have something. There has been in my youth been a little bit talk about I've been tested for having autism when I was 3 or 5 years old, somewhere around that, before kindergarten, but my doctor told me that it was done way too soon. You have to wait until a child is 8 or 10 years old, I think, before you can really establish if the child has a condition, so to speak. Condition. And maybe this would also make me feel a little bit better, because my whole life I've felt different. When I was done with kindergarten, I got thrown to a special school for those that don't function that well socially. But within a month of that, I got sent directly back to public school, and they said, we don't know why you sent him here to the special school, he is pretty damn normal. And so what that signalized a little bit, both to me, but in general, is he is too weird to be normal, but he's too normal to be weird. So I've kind of been stuck in between two places, and I have also from my friends heard that I am weird, though they will specify also in a good way. But yeah, and I've also felt like I barely have any need for social interaction, and yeah, sorry, I'm kind of trauma dumping here, but I kind of just wanted to get it off my chest. So yeah, I'm a bit of a slump, and I'm trying to get help. And hopefully I will eventually get better, so I can go back to having a job, hopefully something I'm passionate about, and also have more energy to do more streams on the daily basis, eventually. But we'll just have to see how that goes. So yeah, I'm gonna take about a 2, maybe 3 hour break. So I'm gonna have some visit, and I also, as I said, need to recharge a little bit, and then I'll be back around in 3, maybe 4 hours. We'll see what it is, and then I will continue either on. Yeah, I think it'll be Gundam Breaker. I want to wait with System Shock till afterwards, as I think I'm closer to beating Gundam Breaker 4 than System Shock. So, yeah, I'm gonna call it here. So, thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube and you like the VOD, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications for whenever I upload videos. If you're watching this on Twitch and you like the VOD, please feel free to leave a follow so you can get notifications for whenever I live stream. For a little while, I will be streaming on the daily, with some breaks, starting at around maybe 2 p.m. CT, and probably for 2 hours, and then take a break, and then go back again. Though tomorrow I will not. Well, I might be able to stream from. Yeah, all right. Also 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. CET. As I have a little arrangement with some of my family that I'll go to dinner and visit them. So I get to see them a little bit, and I'll also be a little bit social with them. So maybe it will help me. Every second Thursday. So yeah, pretty much every day around 2 p.m. CT. That should make it around 7 CST, and then I'll play for 2 hours, then back again at some other point. I will tell on the stream. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Take care, and see you in the next video. I'll live stream. Bye.